SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C Spire. Power your home or business with C Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C Spire. C Spire Fiber powers Super Talk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome in on a Wednesday, one of those days that you need to be watching on Super Talk TV because we have, we often go to places, cool locations. We love all of our partners on this show. It is hard to beat where we sit right now, though. We are in a brand new, just opened $14 million football facility on the campus of Northwest right here in Sentobia. And, I know we love the smell of grass, right? Grass and football and grass smells great.
Yeah.
Call me crazy.
You're crazy.
Something about the turf also gets me.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I got to play on some turf in high school, I guess, so it's jogging memories. But, this is fresh field turf, the rubber pellets all over, and it feels like football. Now, it's late April. They are practicing, but I want to put pads on, Hadad, and just go run around like an idiot right now is what I want to do, sitting where we're sitting.
What I would tell you is you don't want to put pads on with me sitting right here. 'Cause I'll put you down, buddy. You go straight down.
Yeah, right.
Nothing left.
Yeah, right.
It has to be like an Oklahoma-style drill. If you're trying to run around me, I got no chance. You got to come through the chute.
I played linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you understand the physical ability of this frame right
What
here.
I don't think you understand are two things. All right, and we're just going to be honest about them. One is you don't understand old man strength. All right, it's a real thing.
I'm old now.
No, you got nothing. All right, when you get to a certain age, you reach a certain point in your life, you can just do things physically that you were not able to do previous to that. And that's just the truth, and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or anything when I tell you that.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No.
But the other thing that
doesn't move me at all.
The other thing that you don't understand is that we are in the Pearl River Resort Studios.
I do understand that.
Pearl River Resort, doesn't matter where we go, we're at the Pearl River Resort Studios. You can be at Pearl River Resort this weekend. Book your stay now at pearlriverresort.com. Great golf, great food, great live entertainment. It's all right there for you at Pearl River Resort. C Spire text line is open to you at 601-879-4395. Guys, we've been saying it for quite a while now. There's a lot of freeness, a lot of freeivity. I don't know if that's really a word or not. Freeivity at C Spire right now with their Ultimate Connect bundle. Free new phone, tablet, watch, 90 gigs of data, 100 gigs of data for $90. That's the Ultimate Connect bundle. Visit cspire.com. Freespire.com. Check out your local C Spire store. Say it again. No?
Freespire.
Whatever you want to do. C Spire, inspired by you.
Somebody says, tell them like I do, there's an athlete under all this fat. I don't think our audience quite understands the height, shoulder width, arm length. I have the advantage in all of those categories. There's a reason that the draft coming up tomorrow measures all of those things because it's a measure.
You can't measure what's in a man's heart.
It's a measure of explosion and athletic ability and all of those things.
I'm just saying, when the show is over, if you want to, just get out and put it in 3-point stance out there.
100%.
All right, we'll make content out of that.
Draft tomorrow.
I can't wait to read the headline on that. Hadad pancakes Borkey. Straight down.
Draft tomorrow. No Mississippi guys expected to go in the first round. It would be frankly, it would be a shock if anybody goes in the first round tomorrow. But we do have the first round of the draft tomorrow. If we have time today, we will get to some of that. Also, baseball last night. The SEC had a bad night.
Well,
not here.
The country
had a bad night. The SEC obviously included in
but
that.
the state of Mississippi, once again, has escaped midweek madness unscathed, with Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Southern Miss all getting 3 very different wins. You know, when you look at Ole Miss, obviously the final score kind of tells you everything you want to know about that game. 19-2. It should have been 19-0. An absolute garbage 2-run home run there to make it to cut the. It was like the Chris Paul with a huge 3 to cut the lead to 40.
That. Did they?
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So Murray State, they posted the video of the home run and said, "Shout out Chris Paul."
There you go. So there's that.
Yeah, some therapy in Oxford last night, I think.
I agree. Mississippi State, a game that they trailed, and then they got the lead, and it was uncomfortable until the end when Vitas Valencius parks a 3-run home run. And now Mississippi State is at a point where they've got some lineup questions because Blake Beavis and Vitas Valencius the past couple of games have had some big moments. And so does State want to tinker with the lineup at that point? That's something we'll have to find out this weekend. And then at Southern Miss, late drama. Kyle Morrison with a walk-off single to win the game for the Golden Eagles 5-4 over Tulane. So Southern just barely escapes being part of the midweek madness. But looking around the country,
and they needed that one.
Looking around the country, Borkey, number 22 lost. Number 9 lost. That's Coastal Carolina. Number 21 lost. That's Florida.
That's good for Southern Miss, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out Coastal Carolina.
It is, but it's not a conference game. So number 21 lost. That's Florida. They lost to Jacksonville.
Man, are the D1 baseball guys, I mean, they held on to LSU for too long. Now they're holding on to Florida for too long.
They may very well be. West Virginia, number 12 team in the country, lost 23-1 to Pitt yesterday.
Ugh.
They held to 2 hits in that game. Number 13 Alabama, nearly run-ruled by UAB. 11-2 is that final score.
UAB's just good.
Yeah. Georgia Tech, top 5 matchup. Georgia gets run-ruled by Georgia Tech, 14-4.
In Truist Park, where the Braves play, no TV available for that game. Couldn't watch it in a major league stadium.
Oklahoma had to come from behind to beat Oral Roberts. The final score was 7-6, but that game was 6-2, I want to say, in like the 6th or 7th inning. So they had to escape midweek. The midweek madness it's just a real thing at this point. It is every week. And so I was doing Thunder and Lightning today and talking to Carlo, and he was just saying, not a very impressive. And I was like, Carlo, it really is like just get the W.
Just win.
Doesn't matter. At the end of this, when they look at your schedule, it's just going to be wins and losses and RPI points. Nobody cares about style. Style is irrelevant. So, was last night's game ugly for Mississippi State? Yeah, at times it was. Did they pitch it as well as they should have in the early innings? No, they did not. Were they able to hit against a really bad Memphis pitching staff? No, not really. Did they win? Yes, that's all that matters.
Absolutely, especially, as you said, considering what's going on around the SEC. We are at Northwest. The celebration of champions is why we are here. I don't know if you guys know this by now, but this is the 4th time
I think that's right.
I think this is the 4th time.
They keep moving us.
And yet again,
because they keep creating awesome new facilities for us to broadcast from.
Yet again, every coach we talked to last time we were here won a championship of some kind.
Yep.
Every coach we talked to, again, that's not the first time that's happened.
Yeah.
Won a championship.
We come back and they're like, hey, I won another one. And, all right, tell us about this one.
They don't like us here. They just like winning.
No, I think they like us very much. I think we play a role in this. And here we are today at their brand spanking new practice facility for football. Inside is the cheer and dance facility, their practice facility. We have to take a little tour of that. I mean, this is awesome. I mean, we're sitting out here. I don't know what the temperature is 30 yards over there, but over here it's nice and cool because we're in the shade.
We'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Where is that sun setting, though? Is it this way?
Well, the sun sets as I know from my time going to Tiger Stadium, it finds its home in the western sky.
We're good.
Okay, we're all right.
Yeah, we're not. See, and they thought about this, unlike Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Because the sun sets.
That's right.
Into the stadium.
If Jerry Jones had been president of this great college, the sun would be right there.
It would be right there.
Just pointing in our face, and it would not work. So they thought of that.
They did, and it still blows my mind, by the way. So they're about to put another $300 million into that stadium.
Okay.
They already have curtains to cover up the windows.
Well, they can't,
Jerry Jones refuses to use them.
Well, he refuses to do a lot of things.
It's so ridiculous. But that's why we're here, and we're going to have a busy day talking to everybody involved of the winning here. We will do that when we come back. If we have time, we'll get to a college football fix. Again, the draft coming up tomorrow. But we just got a lot to get to, and that is a great thing.
Well, yeah.
Somebody says, hey, Dad, how many SEC wins do we, of course, meaning state, I believe, have to host a regional?
You don't know that he means that. He could mean anybody.
Yeah, but the previous text is, do you think Ole Miss fans will ever get over Kiffin leaving? Lebby is on the hot seat. Hey, Dad, what does he have to do?
Again, there's nothing that says, if you're talking about Mississippi State.
It's the same answer. 16 wins, conference wins for state or Ole Miss is hosting.
You're hosting, yeah. And 15 would have you close. You'd be close.
Yeah, but
if you sweep LSU, take 2 from Auburn, take 1 from A&M or Texas and get swept in the other one, you'd be on the bubble. But 16 is a lock to host. 17, you could be possibly the 7 or 8 seed and hosting a super regional, and that's true for both sides.
Dr. Heindel will join us next. I don't have time, so they gave us a list of the number of championships that they won here. It's that long.
Yeah.
And we only have
binder.
We only have 37 seconds, and that's not enough time to read them all. We will do this at some point, but we will talk about winning and all of the winning that goes on here at Northwest when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi after a night of chaos in college baseball, and we're in the Pearl River Resort studio. Stick with us.
From the Venable Glass
Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
A president was recently quoted, not too recently, but a president was quoted as saying, "You're going to get tired of winning." So much winning.
Yes.
I feel like the wrong president said that. It shouldn't have been President Trump. It should have been this man.
Yes.
Dr. Michael Heindel, president of Northwest.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
We were just saying, what's the budget on shelves here at Northwest? Because it feels like every year you got to buy bigger shelves.
I know, and greater capacity, larger, bigger.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
to hold the trophies. Absolutely,
You're going to end up being like Scotty Scheffler, because Scheffler says when he doesn't win a major, he just has like a closet that he just puts his trophies in. That's what you guys are. There's a closet somewhere where you open it up and trophies fall out.
We go to his house, like, what's this on top of the fridge? Oh, it's just one of our national titles. I didn't have enough room.
Really, that's what I'm feeling about the rings. You know,
Yeah.
all of these
Only got 10
athletes have these
fingers.
rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a bunch of them now. Fortunately, it's fantastic. And guys, again, welcome to Northwest Mississippi Community College. Great y'all are here.
We're always pleased to be here. Pleased to be here.
Why do you win so much?
Well,
Just
I
take
mean,
credit.
look.
Just say it to you. Just say it. Nobody will argue.
It's because of the leadership of the community college president. No. It really, we have some amazing student athletes. I mean, it's ultimately at the end of the day about the student athletes that we have, our students. We have amazing coaches. And they run our programs the right way. They lead our programs with integrity. They lead our programs with character. They talk a lot about character. And when you lead a program the right way, and you will talk to them again this afternoon, our great head coaches. But when you do that, then you get byproducts of that, you know. Mm-hmm. And some of the byproducts of that are, conference, regional, national type championships. And so really it starts though with our student athletes, then our coaches, and then I really think I want to believe that I have something to do with it. Yeah. I don't.
No.
I do not. But
well, you hired these people.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
So
I guess
you got to give yourself a little bit of credit, because I always think that leadership and everything, it comes down from the top. And if you're at the top, then you have to have some small piece of this, however small you want to give yourself. What is, in your opinion, the most important piece to having a culture of winning in anything?
It's the mindset. Mm-hmm. You have to have a mindset To really, and I know that I don't mean to be cliche here, but we really have a culture here at our college based upon being a little bit better every single day. I know y'all hear that. You talk to Coach all the time. But it's the truth. You know, when you're able to be a little bit better than what we do, we talk a lot about Northwest here. We want to be a little bit better today than we were yesterday. We want to be a little bit better tomorrow than we were even today. And when we do that, when we think and we have that mindset, then I really think that then translates to, you know, what happens on the field, what happens on the court, what happens, honestly, y'all, in the classroom. We have women's soccer and football, the highest GPAs in the nation. So not only were they doing it on the field, which they very much did, they did it in the classroom. And so I do believe, though, it does start from the top. You do have to have a mindset from the president, VPs, you know, executive team, throughout it has to be pervasive throughout the entire organization, right? In order to have the type of, the relationships, the leadership, the character. We do have a set of 10 values at our institution, and those values are some of the things I just mentioned, you know, whether it be leadership, whether it be integrity, whether it be positivity, you know, is another great leadership or a value that we have at the institution, and it translates. You know, I guess the proof is in the pudding. I guess, you know, to an extent with our sports, but also, you know, with our students. You know, today is about our champions. You know, we have a celebration of champions, and our champions are really not only our athletes, which it's a big part of our day today, but it's also our champions. You know, we're celebrating our humanities instructor of the year. We're celebrating our Hall of Fame students who have the highest GPAs nominated by their instructors. You know, they're Northwest Hall of Fame students, and some of those students are athletes, some are not. So we're able to celebrate all these students a little bit later today. So
well, we talk a lot about money in sports and why schools invest in athletics at the highest level, because, I mean, Ole Miss's chancellor did an interview recently about the success on the football field has turned into more donations, academic prowess. You guys are investing in athletics. I mean, this is the third different place we've been in. And, I mean, this is a brand new facility. At the community college level, what does investing in athletics do to the academic side?
Well, I mean, of course, you know, we have 200, you know, between 250, you know, 275 student athletes at our institution. And when we have the type of culture that we have at our institution, it is pervasive. You know, it has an effect over what's happening in the classroom. A lot of our student athletes have friends that are not athletes. You know what I mean? So, and when we as an institution have the opportunity to invest in the ways that we have, and big shout out to our Board of Trustees who have invested in major ways and been very supportive in us being able to do this. When we're able to do things like that, it does translate and has a major effect over the entire institution. And I'm not just talking about, you know, our main residential campus, which is Sentobia, our only residential campus, and all of our 14 intercollegiate athletics, which are here. But it has an effect over what's happening at our Oxford campus. You know, it has an effect over what's happening at our DeSoto campus, you know, just right below Memphis there. I mean, so he's right. You know, Chancellor Boyce is right. You know, when we do have the opportunity to invest in these ways, it has a major impact over the entire institution. Same is true, though, for the arts. When we're able to invest in the arts at our institution, which we have, we see similar results and, you know, just similar returns. It's a huge return on investment for our communities, for the colleges, and really just for all of the cities that we have the opportunity to serve.
So as Michael said, we've been here a number of times. We've kind of talked to the same coaches. We talked to Coach Beatty every time. We talked to Coach Loomis. Talked to Coach Parker. You added a new one for us this year. Coach Williams is going to talk to us in a little while. Tell us about him and women's basketball here at Northwest.
We did. Had such an exciting season in women's basketball. I can't wait for y'all to talk to Coach Williams. It's going to be a fun time. But we had a Region 23 NJCAA championship from our women's basketball team, and just so very proud of them. They worked very, very hard. Coach Williams worked very, very hard. We had a celebration of champions event last year, and the women's basketball team was not on the floor of our Coliseum. We're not celebrating them. We're celebrating them this year, of course. Yeah. But they were not last year. But the women's basketball team were in the stands, and they didn't like the fact that they were in the stands last year. They wanted to be on the floor last year, and so they, that's one thing I heard from Coach Williams. But I mean, they worked extremely hard. It's been over 20 years since our women's basketball team, competed and went that far into the postseason, and then won that conference of that regional championship, and they got to play in the national tournament. He's not satisfied again. We got out in the national tournament, but he's not satisfied still. And again, that's the type of coaches that we have here at the college, the type of, again, like we're talking about culture here that we have at the college. And just again, like I say, so proud of what women's basketball was able to do this past season.
There's a phenomenon happening in higher education where people from all over the country are flocking to the Deep South for college. Is that happening at this level as well?
That is, and we have so many of our students in the community colleges. There are 15 community colleges in the state. Northwest is third largest in terms of enrollment. And we're seeing a similar effect, not as much from, because so many of our students are in-state students, and we're very proud of that fact. But, we just have more, and we're honestly seeing at Northwest a huge momentum taking place. And the momentum does have to do with what you're describing, which is more and more students taking notice of Northwest, more and more students taking notice of other community colleges. I'm going to talk about Northwest, but, taking really a second look, a third look at Northwest and saying, you know what? Wow, especially when they come on a campus like this, they're like, wow, I can see myself here. I can see myself, getting involved and whether that's in the arts, whether that's in the classroom, whether that's in athletics, we've got a place for every single student here, and they're seeing themselves being able to be part of the Northwest family. And so we're seeing a huge momentum in that way. More and more students coming to us. We've had 13 semesters of consecutive and positive enrollment growth. Wow! And just seeing a tremendous, exciting time here at the college.
And age is just a number, right? I mean, if you got somebody listening right now that did not receive higher education, doesn't matter how old you are.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, our average age is in the low 20s. So yeah, I mean,
so is the average college football team these days.
Right? Yeah. So. You could be any age. Come on to the college. Be a Ranger with us for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Heindel, we always appreciate you allowing us to be here today, and glad that you were able to join us and tell us about all the great things happening here at Northwest. Absolutely. And my guess is that's not going to change anytime soon.
No, we're keeping it going. Got our foot on the gas. We're going to keep it going.
All right. One of our favorite guests coming up in just a minute, Coach James Beatty. You love him, you know him. We'll be back with him in just a minute here on Sports Talk Mississippi.
From the sea to Sports Talk Mississippi.
It doesn't get any better than this.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Should I go take a break? Am I not needed here right now?
This may be the last time we get to talk to Coach James Beatty, unless we want to move to West London, because I'm getting him out of here. He's taking over the Chelsea job today. I want to go ahead and make that announcement. Coach Beatty, appreciate you being with us. Another national title. Imagine that.
You have a hard time opening doors with all the rings on, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's getting to that point for sure. You guys, like what you said in the Dr. Heindel interview, everyone you interview seems to win, so every time you come here, even if I'm not on schedule, I will show up and crash this interview.
Well, I'm going to get you on anyway, because we have our little 3-4 minutes at the end to talk about football. But
what'd you call it?
Oh, I have to go into the Fan Fest. I got to call it football.
What'd you call it?
Look, words can have different meanings, okay? They can have different meanings. So I asked him about what's the most important thing to having a winning mindset, a championship mindset. What is it in your mind?
Yeah, I think it's just like what he said, like every single day trying to get better. I think, I said it last time, like you hang around with, 11 idiots, you'll become the 12. You hang around with 11 good programs, you'll become the 12. I think you create that culture, and I think, what you said is really, really true as well. It does come from the top. Like, All of our players, 1 through 25, knows who Dr. Heindel are. He's super involved with them, like all the other administration on campus as well. So it's like, I think as well, that's a big thing that you don't see at a lot of places, is the connection between student athletes to administration. And then, like, again, you said it, you're sitting in this facility and it's quite honestly incredible. So when we get kids on campus, it makes it really easy to kind of sell the fact to get them here at Northwest Mississippi.
When you win championships and you set that standard the way that you have in the past, yep. Do the players become the leaders in that situation where it's like, hey, we can't, especially the former players even, they're like, hey, don't let it fall from where we put it.
I think that's obviously your players are a big part, recruitment's a big part, you're trying to get them, you're trying to get that mindset installed early. I think as well it helps when, with it being junior college, your sophomores have won it the year before, so then they can help guide the class below, and then hopefully next year that happens as well. So I think it instills that element of, this is a culture that we've set, we want to maintain it, and hopefully we can maintain it. We've been lucky enough to maintain it for the last 3 years. Hopefully we can keep it going.
I just want to talk like tactics and stuff. I really want to go high.
Do it. Sorry, that's my bad.
Yeah, you're sitting there. What are you doing?
Goodness gracious.
When we talk about the way you like to coach, and then the tactics that you want to use, because it's crazy how the sport is kind of the same, right? I love what Sean Deitch once said. It's like, put it in that end, keep them from going in on that end.
Yeah.
That's the basic of the game.
Yeah.
But everybody's so different. Who do you draw inspiration from?
Genuinely, like, Sean Deitch is someone that I think it's just you need to simplify it, right?
Do you have his attitude?
Not his attitude, but I think you need to simplify the sport, right? It's really made difficult a lot, and you can't look at, like, if we're going to relate it to like basketball, you can't like mirror your game off of like the Golden State Warriors in their prime. You need to be realistic with what's in front of you, and then play to their strengths. But I think it's a really simple game made difficult. I think from a coaching standpoint, the translation from training sessions to games is super important. Like, I think if the training session looks and feels like the game, it's probably the game. If it doesn't look and feel like the game, there's a good chance it's not going to translate. So I think putting them in game-like situations as much as possible from a tactical, technical level is something that I think is super important, not just in the short term, but also in the long term. When you look at the sport from a coaching perspective.
It's interesting to hear you say that, because Sean Deitch is a guy who traditionally has coached teams that don't have the great resources, not championship teams. You are a championship coach, and yet you take inspiration from a coach who basically coaches the underdog.
Yeah, I really like the way he simplifies the game. I don't think it's that complicated. And I think as well, clarity is so paramount in regards to the success of a team and success of the sport. Everyone's got to be on the same page from an individual level, from a collective level. So he's someone that I think is really good at simplifying situations, and that's why he's got the reputations that he has in regards to, he goes in, fixes situations and makes them better, and then hopefully continues to build off of it. So someone that, I take inspiration from a lot, but he's someone that I look at from a technical and tactical level that I think is really, really switched on.
Aren't you guys talking about Pochettino? What about him? Why are we not all locked in on?
I think.
I'm kidding.
We're
not in good form entering the World Cup.
Yeah.
I know that. But.
Yeah.
I was going to ask what inspiration do you take from Liam Senior? Any? Please take that and throw it away.
I mean, you kind of said it. Like, when he got the Chelsea job, I was as shocked as probably.
You literally have a better resume than him.
Yeah, I don't think Liam's going to reach SuperTalk Mississippi, so I can probably say that.
Yeah, you're good.
I'll
let you say whatever you want about that.
Clip this and tag him.
He definitely won a watch getting that job with his background. But
he got a $24 million buyout today, so he's probably on an island somewhere.
He's not worried about it too
Why
much.
don't we call it sacked here, by the way? I feel like that's
sacked is a much better word than fired. I agree with that. What does a James Beatty practice look like?
I think you try and keep it as realistic to the game as possible. I think we try and get into the game as quick as possible. Maybe put it into, like, I look at it as like modified game form and game form. So modified game form was you're taking an element of the game, building through the 3/3 of the field, and you're trying to work on one of the thirds. Whether you're working on the defensive, building into the midfield building into the attack, and then the attack building towards the goal. I think you're just trying to keep it simple and keep the area of the field really specific and what you're asking for the player players, like the training session objective, really clear, and then hopefully it translates then to the game. But I think it needs to be high beat. I think obviously like our student athletes are coming from the classroom, they're coming from sometimes the weight room. You know, it needs to be something that's quick, energetic. It can't have a lot. I always say no lines, no laps, no lectures. Everything needs to be quick, especially with the kids we're coaching nowadays. Like I think anytime they're in a line, anytime that you're doing metagonous running, and then anytime you're lecturing, you can sometimes lose them. So really quick.
If I told you that from a recruiting perspective, I could get you the best keeper in the world, the best defender, the best midfielder, or the best attacker, which one would you? I can only give you one. Which one would you want?
Definitely a striker.
Really?
Yeah, striker wins you games. Striker is the most important. It's the hardest part. If you look at the value in players, you know, kind of like the quarterback, it's the most valuable part of the field, and that's where your money is the strikers. So I think that would, if I could get a world class striker over the other positions, I would take the striker.
I'm fascinated by that because I thought you would have said midfielder. I just feel like those guys are so important.
Yeah,
they're the quarterbacks really on the field.
Yeah, in regards to like the building of a game, yeah. But in regards to the skill of actually putting the ball in the back of the net, it's a hard thing to find, and you know, luckily we've found some good ones in the last few years. But yeah, I would take a striker.
Who's the best striker of all time, in your opinion?
Of all time, it's got to be Messi. Messi's just
Messi?
Yeah, different level.
I don't call him a striker though. He's just wherever he wants to play.
Yeah,
really.
but I mean, in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net,
no one better.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ronaldo is a worked product. Messi's a natural talent. Messi's like, I've been lucky enough to watch him 3-4 times, and you would pay to watch Messi. Like you would genuinely. He's a special talent.
Are you going to pay to watch Messi this upcoming World Cup?
Not Messi, no. I'm going to pay to watch Scotland, but
that's right.
Yeah, not Messi, but hopefully Scotland can make a run at it.
So I have a friend who covers Missouri who's Scottish as well, and I like to get on him for every now and then because you're a Celtic guy too, right?
Yeah.
And not y'all's year. It's finally, the old firm is finally going to get broken up.
Yeah, it looks that way. Hopefully, I mean, we got 5 weeks left in the season, but it looks that way. Yeah, don't ruin my energy. I'm having a good day so far.
The number of people who got that reference, by the way, might literally just be me.
Yeah, it could just be us two.
But that's fine. When we think about the soccer, football in this country, it has been just a never-ending struggle for the popularity of it here in America to reach what it is in the world. And I think the World Cup will help that. I feel like there's always a boost after the World Cup. But how do you feel as a coach who has to go out and recruit? How do you feel about where soccer is in this country right now?
Yeah, I think it's obviously growing. I think, this country's really unique in the sense that you have so many other sports that are so largely watched, and the revenue in these sports are so high. In other countries that's not the case, but I think it's growing. I think, like what you say, the World Cup is only going to increase the visibility, and I think it's a really good, I think I've said this before to you, it's a really good entry level sport. Like I see a lot of kids at the youth level that use it as a sport to then lead to another sport, because at the youth level it's really organised at younger ages, and probably in other sports maybe not as organised. So I think it's going to continue to grow. The standard of player that we get here is really increased over the 6 or 7 years that I've been here, and I only see that trajectory going like the other way as well.
Your guy Robbo's leaving Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't know where he rumoured obviously to go to Tottenham, but I don't know.
Really, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah,
he wants to play in the Championship.
It looks that way, doesn't it? So he, I don't know what he'll end up doing, but he's had a good career there.
I thought he'd go to Saudi.
Always an option when you look at.
Aren't they dialing back on sports though? That's been the whole thing with Live
Not
Golf
so much in the Saudi league. There's still a lot of money to be made there. And I mean, you got guys.
And what's the team they divested it? That's more for Cross in the Mornings. There's a soccer team that they own that they are.
Well, they own
like 4 or 5.
They own like 4 or 5. There's a league.
Yeah.
So there you go.
They're in everything.
They are.
Just in everything.
They're taking over.
I was telling you before, I was at the Premier League Fan Fest, and I'm talking about Tottenham. When Brighton scored on Saturday to even that game up.
Yeah. It's going crazy.
And the Tottenham fans were just catatonic.
Yeah.
They were like,
I couldn't believe it.
It was a lot of fun.
I couldn't believe it when I seen it as well.
It was good stuff. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, likewise. Really appreciate you coming in.
Yeah. Coach James Beatty, National Championship, Northwest soccer team. Always appreciate you. When we come back, we have a little moment here. We got to talk about this Kalen DeBoer contract extension. We got to talk about it. It's happened again.
There's not enough money. Congress, save us.
It's happened again. We'll talk about it when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi live here at Northwest Community College, Sentobia, Mississippi, for the celebration of champions. Back in just a minute.
From the
If it's sports in Mississippi, you'll hear about it here. Sports Talk Mississippi.
You like this show, huh? Yeah!
Super Talk Mississippi.
You ever seen the Hangover movies?
Of course, I haven't seen the third one. That was a bridge too far.
Well, so the third one not as good as the second one. The second one not as good as the first one. But in the second one, they have the "It happened again" moment.
Yeah,
Brian Hadad, "It happened again."
yeah. That's also going back to what we were just talking about with Coach Petty. That's a Tottenham. That's an anti-Tottenham song.
Really?
Yeah, because they always screw up. So people will just say, "It happened again."
That's funny. Gosh, they're so much more clever than we are. Kalen DeBoer has gotten a contract extension.
It happened again.
It happened on April 22nd. This is not a contract extension that was done back when the Michigan job came open. Remember, he was rumored for the Michigan job when Sharon Moore got fired. No, this happened quite literally today. Like the board of whatever at Alabama did this today. He has gotten a raise of $2 million a year, and the contract is a 7-year contract for Kalen DeBoer. I mean, as we say all the time, who were you bidding against?
So Andy Staples is saying right now on Twitter that this is something that was hashed out when Michigan was interested in him in December. That's fine. If that's the case, then you can't announce this right now because it makes you look foolish, in my opinion. Like,
absolutely.
If they
announce it then.
If, a week before Michigan hired Whittingham, if they said Alabama announces an extension for Kalen DeBoer, everybody like, okay, Michigan was interested. Alabama did what they had to do. They wanted to keep their guy. Now it just looks like, what are you doing? I don't know.
And also, $2 million more a year, was that worth keeping him away from Michigan?
If you really and truly believe in this guy, yes, it was.
Do they really and truly believe in this guy?
But I don't. They might, but I don't know. $12.5 million a year to lose 8 games in 2 years at Alabama. That's
Kirby
good
Smart,
money if you can get it.
Kirby Smart and Lane Kiffin making 13. Kirk Cignetti, the most recent national champion, making 13.2. Ryan Day at 12.5. So Kalen DeBoer is getting the same contract as national champion Ryan Day. Also, Lane Kiffin, who's never won an important game in his life, making more than Kirby Smart.
All right.
He hasn't.
I'm just saying, all right.
But he hasn't. What do you mean, all right? He hasn't. Lane Kiffin has not won an important game in his life.
The Georgia game last year wasn't important.
He didn't win it.
2 years ago? 2 years ago, that wasn't important.
What did it get him?
Well, but it was an important game.
It was a regular season game.
You're not going to sit here and try to tell me that wasn't an important game.
When it comes to
I have a great rebuttal. It's coming. Go ahead.
They went 9-3.
So Ole Miss rushed the field and took down the goalpost for a non-important game?
They rushed the field going 6-6 once.
Well, I mean, so what you're saying is these guys are bad field rushers.
I mean, you know my feelings on field rushing.
You're for it.
It's a celebratory thing.
Yeah.
But a regular season win in a season in which you went to the Jacksonville whatever bowl is not noteworthy.
Okay.
No, what's noteworthy is what you do in the postseason. Kirby Smart has won 2 national championships and is getting paid less.
I'm not going to buy in that Ole Miss beating Georgia in that game was not an important game.
It was an important game, but in the grand scheme of should he get paid higher than a 2-time national champion?
No, I agree with that.
The answer is no.
That's fine, but
no.
Regular
season wins are not the same
I am not going to sit here.
Wins.
I'm not going to sit here and allow you to denigrate the good name of Lane Kiffin.
Regular season wins are not the same as postseason wins.
Just a good man.
The regular season wins are not the same as postseason wins.
No, I agree with that.
But they are not even in the same.
But they are important. That game was important.
Yeah, but to get paid more than Kirby Smart.
No. Okay, I agree with you on that.
It's a meaningless thing.
We're talking. There's 2 things can be true at the same time. Lane Kiffin does not deserve more money than Kirby Smart. That's true.
Yes.
Ole Miss beating Georgia in 2023 was an important game.
Until he lost to Florida.
Ole Miss beating LSU in 2023 was an important game.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
But I'm trying to think of which one would be, because in 23, of course, they went to an Access Bowl. That would have been a playoff team had there been the 12.
Yeah.
So
the Georgia game was more important.
Yeah, it felt like it.
Because Georgia was, they were number 1 in the nation, weren't they? Number 2. nobody gave Ole Miss. Although I did, there was one person on this show, the only person who worked that Friday. I want to point out before that game, that one person did predict Ole Miss to win that game.
Yeah. Somebody says, was the Freeze wins against Bama not important? Calm down. What'd it take? Does anybody...
You're right, though. He's right, though. Those games were important.
They absolutely were important. What did it get him? Your postseason wins are what matter most.
I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, the one game, they did get a Sugar Bowl win out of it.
Hugh Freeze's Sugar Bowl win is the most important win he's ever had.
Oh, I disagree with that. The 2 Alabama wins are more important. I disagree with you. Ask an Ole Miss fan, would you rather beat Alabama or would you rather beat Oklahoma State?
Would you rather beat Alabama or win the Sugar Bowl for the first time in forever?
I get that. I get that.
The context.
Alabama is the more important game, especially winning at Alabama. Come on. I got to disagree with you, Borkey.
No. Postseason wins are more important than regular season wins.
I would postseason playoff wins, yes. Bowl games, kind of. I mean, beating Alabama in the regular season is bigger than winning that Sugar Bowl. I'm going to disagree with you. We can ask our next guest what he thinks. Coach Laterra Williams is going to join us in just a minute. Northwest women's basketball, huge season for the Rangers. We'll talk to him about that when we come back. Top of the 4 o'clock hour, live here in Sentobia at Northwest for the celebration of champions.
What we're gonna do right here is go back.
And now back to the sports. This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
So let's get rolling
On SuperTalk Mississippi.
The cavalcade of winners continues here. The celebration of champions.
Cavalcade. Listen to this, man.
I got occasionally. I can go into the arsenal there.
That was awesome.
And pull one out.
I'm gonna have to write that.
Write that one down. Keep it. We're at Northwest Community College. We are here in Sentobia. We are at their awesome new indoor practice. It's not indoor, but it is indoor. Like if
it rains, they're good.
If it rains, they're good. We'll put it that way. And we've, as I mentioned with Dr. Heindel earlier, we've been coming up here. We talked to a lot of the same coaches. We got a new face this year. Coach Laterra Williams joins us. Northwest women's basketball region champs. Great season last year, Coach. Thanks for joining us. We were just having an awesome discussion about old school Mississippi high school basketball.
That too, and also we got to correct that. Ole Miss versus Alabama. It's more important.
Yeah, see, I got a Rebels opinion here.
All right.
Once again,
okay.
my opinion.
Now to clarify on the text line right here.
Everybody's getting on off on you.
Somebody says, Borkey saying no regular season games are important. No, I tried to clarify. On the tier of coaches making $12 million a year or more, you have 3 national champions, a guy that took his team to the national championship, and Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Though he does not have anywhere remotely close to the resume that the other 4 have.
I have a rebuttal for you.
He has 1 important regular season game. They are not as important or anywhere
I have
close
a rebuttal
to national
We'll worry about that
championships.
after we talk to Coach Williams.
Your rebuttal will be wrong because everything I just said is just as agreeable as a statement could possibly
So
be.
we're talking about the Hugh Freeze era, or
we were talking about all of it.
Okay,
we were talking about all of it. I think we got off on a tangent there, which happens a lot on this show. Let's talk about your team and what you were able to do this past season. That's a really impressive season. And the story that Dr. Heindel told us about last year at this event, the team was not out there. They took that kind of personally and used it as motivation. As a coach, you got to like that.
Definitely. We sat in the stands in the Howard Coliseum and watched the football team and the women's soccer team and cheerleaders and dance team get celebrated for winning their championships. And I just told our girls, we need to be down here next year. We have everything we need to be successful. It's going to be all dependent on what y'all want to do as a group. And since July of last summer, they bought in and they've really been consistent in and winning a championship this year, and it paid off for them.
How much has the game changed? We were talking, ironically enough, to the soccer coach earlier, and he said, don't watch the Steph Curry Warriors and try to be the Steph Curry Warriors. But you've been coaching for a long time. How much has the game changed the way you coach it now versus when you started?
Not a lot has changed for me personally. I know other programs and other people's style of basketball has changed. Everybody really relies on the three-point shot a lot in this era. But I'm an old school guy. I like to play inside out, and that was very evident with our All-American Lauren Story, really demanding the post and having a big sophomore year. And so when she get that double team and draw all that attention, we're able to kick it out and get outside shots. So we like to play inside out, and today's game is more outside in. Yeah.
That's a very old school approach right now. Like nobody really plays the old post game like that.
Do you find that gives you an advantage? Sorry for interrupting, but that just triggered a thought that like teams, the triple option in football, teams can't stop it anymore.
Yeah.
If they only have 1 week to prepare, they're just all out of sorts. Does that kind of happen with you too?
It does, but I give my hats off to a lot of teams in our league. They had game plans designed to slow a Lauren Story down. Some teams were able to do it. Most teams weren't. But she's really good, and she demanded a lot of attention in the post. So we were able to get driving lanes for our guards and open looks from the perimeter. So those things worked well for us. Next year it may be different after losing her, but this year was definitely a game plan for us every night to go inside out.
So looking at your schedule here, on Valentine's Day you guys lost to Northeast. You go off 9 wins in a row after that and get all the way to the women's basketball championship. What changed after that Northeast game for y'all?
We looked at that game as an eye-opener. We were definitely deeper than that team. I feel like we had more talent than them. But Northeast was playing really well at the time, and they came in with a chip on their shoulder. And they just really took it to us early in that game, and we never recovered. We watched film. We had some heart-to-heart talks with our team, and the girls actually had a team meeting as well that week. So they band together. They talked about the goals we had set early in the year, and the way we played that game against Northeast, we weren't going to be able to reach one of our goals, and that's win a championship. So they saw that game as an eye-opener, and it really turned our season around. You
mentioned something there that fans hear about this all the time. Like they had a players-only meeting. How often do those things really happen? You've been as a coach and you've been a player.
Yes.
How often do those happen, and how useful are they really?
Well, the main thing is you hope not to have a lot of those meetings during the season. That means something's going wrong or a lot of things need to take place to get better. For us, it was necessary. I thought we had some sophomores, had some injuries that made us have to change our style of play a little bit. But we had an opportunity to get those meetings, had a heart-to-heart with our players. They had their meetings. So a lot of times it's good for the players to have some stuff to talk about without the coaches being in there. And I think that was really good for them. It was a positive meeting from my understanding. And we saw a difference in our practice the next day.
A question I always like to ask coaches who are former players is, what is something that one of your former coaches said that you catch yourself saying on a regular basis? Is there a phrase that you heard in your past that you bring to the game now?
I want to quote Rod Barnes. He was very big and very good defensive coach. He would always say, man, get your butt down on defense, man. So I would tell our girls that, sit down on defense. So, that's one thing I took about from his defensive philosophy of coaching, to that the low man wins. That's almost like a football term. The low man wins. So when you're boxing out, you're low. You're in a defensive stand, you're low. So we always talked about being the lower person to get that advantage on the court.
I always think about Coach Barnes being so soft-spoken. You telling me he was not?
And no, he's definitely one of those guys that you can go talk to. He's easy to talk to. But when he get between those lines and he's getting the coaching, he's very intense.
So we've been talking about winning championships, and that's something that happens pretty regularly here at Northwest. And I asked Dr. Hind, I'll ask Coach Baez, so I'll ask you as well. The winning mindset, what's the most important part of it for you?
The winning mindset it has to start outside of the actual playing field or basketball court. How are you preparing yourself for the games? How are you preparing yourself for the season? Are you taking care of your body? Are you getting the proper rest? So all those things mean something leading up to the actual game. So we have a big point of emphasis of getting ourselves mentally prepared before the games. That way, because I know from a physical standpoint, my assistant coach and Coach Farr, who are our strength and conditioning coach, we'll have those ladies ready physically. But from a mental standpoint, I think that's the biggest edge we had this season. We had a lot of experience, a lot of sophomores, and that comes from just having that experience from the freshman year to bring it to the next year as sophomore. So that was a big plus for us.
We got the draft coming up tomorrow. In the lead-up process, there's a lot of talk about the interview process and trying to figure out if a player loves football or loves what football can do for them, that kind of stuff. When you're recruiting, do you go through a similar, I'm trying to figure out what she actually wants out of my program? What's your system when it comes to finding the right personal, you said mental fit for your team?
From a basketball recruiting standpoint, if I'm in your gym watching you play, then there's something that you have that can help us on the court. Now, my job is to find out, who are you as a person? How do you interact with your teammates? How do you interact with your coaches, your parents after a tough loss? I'm watching everything. I'm watching how you warm up. I'm watching how you run out the starting lineup. I'm watching how you, if you get a foul called on you, how are you reacting? And then once I see those things and they check all the boxes and that looks good, then I start talking to them and engaging them on a personal level. What are your goals? What do you want to major in? What do you see yourself doing 10 years from now? Or what are your plans if you're able to come to Northwest? What do you want to accomplish while you're here? So if I can get an understanding of who this young lady is as a person, now I can really push them as a player.
Well, about a minute left here, Coach. Women's basketball is a big deal in Mississippi. Coach Yo has got a great program. Coach Purcell at Mississippi State. Obviously, going back to Coach Schaefer and Coach Van Chancellor at Ole Miss years ago. Does that come down to the junior college level? Is there that excitement for women's basketball?
It is. It would be very disrespectful for me not to mention somebody who really established this program from the start, and that's Don Edwards. He was a really good coach. When I played here in 96 through 98, I saw those women's team, and I saw how excited the fans were when they came to watch them play. Very exciting team, very exciting style of play, and we just want to try to bring that back.
I'll tell you what, we may have to bring you back just to have another high school basketball, college basketball discussion a little later. A little old school basketball. I was having this discussion with a guy who's not from Mississippi. He was asking me about some of the great players, and I was just like, and we could be here a little while.
We could be.
The great high school players, of which your name is in there. It's in the discussion.
I appreciate
We'll
that,
put you in the discussion. Coach Laterra Williams, Northwest Mississippi women's basketball, another champion here in Sentobia. Glad we got you on the program, man.
I appreciate it, man. It's not be the last time I get
absolutely
not.
Do
this.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more college football, college basketball, college baseball here on Sports Talk Mississippi live at the Celebration of Champions here at Northwest in Sentobia.
Go Rangers.
From the Venable
Mississippi is brought to you by Covington County Hospital in Collins, where your health matters.
Communication system is a go. Go! This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Exactly.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. Michael Borkey and Brian Hadad with you. Oh, quick point of order. The ticket winner yesterday.
Yeah.
You sent me an email. I replied. You have not replied back yet. If you're listening right now.
That's Mike and Tishomingo, right?
Mike, I need your phone number. You got to include your phone number. We will get you your tickets. So I did reply
I'll just
to your
shoot
email.
Did you send him a text?
He sent me an email. It excluded his phone number.
Okay, I was asking, did you reply to him?
I replied to him via email.
I'll reply to him.
But he has not gotten back to me yet, and that concert is sneaking up on us. It's coming up soon. So, Mike, if you're listening, send me your phone number. Also, Strider, you asked, is there going to be any talk about the baseball games last night?
I can just give you his phone number here, right here.
Well,
you can just look it up here.
I forgot that you could search bar on the text line. Strider, you are in luck. Let's talk about what happened in baseball last night. First, in Oxford, I mean, it's a midweek game. It was Murray State. Those games don't really excite you, but because of what happened last year, there was a little bit more, it would be nice if they won this one kind of feeling around it. And Ole Miss did. 19-2 in 7 innings, the final score. A little bit of therapy in that one, as I said earlier. Just a dominating performance. And I guess because it's Murray State, there's more to take away. But quite frankly, guys, I think it's just the same as any other midweek win. And what I mean by that is you play well and you win, great. And that's exactly what Ole Miss did last night. They avoided any problems. It was not weird. It wasn't even one of those midweek games where you play poorly but you win anyway. You just don't feel good about it. Everybody that watched or everybody in the ballpark, or most importantly, the Ole Miss hitters, just got to tee off last night, and they just continue this incredibly positive momentum that they've built. And, I mean, Becerra, whatever mini slump that he went in there, I think it was...
He's out of it now.
He's out of it now. I mean, it was 2 weeks of just lack of production for him. He's out of it. Judd Utermark tied Tim Elko's all-time home run record last night. He had a pair of them.
Tim Elko still holds the Ole Miss record, though, for most home runs on blown-out knees.
Yeah.
No one will ever touch that record.
That record will never be beat. It was really funny last night during the game. Keith Kessinger, it was a 3-2 count for Judd Utermark.
Saw this, yeah.
And Keith Kessinger is talking about, and he says, literally, quote, if you make a mistake, he can hit it a mile. The second he finishes the E in mile, boom, home run. I mean, the timing of it was unbelievable. But, look, 19-2 doesn't happen every night. You're supposed to win midweek games against lesser opponents. It was a drama-free therapy night at the ballpark. Ole Miss just has a lot of momentum, and now you've got the most explosive, if not one of the most explosive offenses in college baseball coming to your town, and what a big opportunity for Double Decker it is this weekend. But what Ole Miss is now versus what they were 4 weeks ago, it's a totally different baseball team, and last night is evidence of that.
Yeah, and they're playing good baseball right now. This series with Georgia is huge. It really could be the difference. Or I'm not going to say it's the difference between hosting and not hosting. Ole Miss is very much in the hosting discussion, but it could be the difference between hosting a super regional and not hosting a super regional. A series win for Ole Miss would go a long, long way for them in that regard. So they are one of the hottest teams in the country right now. Never would have guessed that, by the way, when I was in Oxford for those 3 games. Left Swayze Field on Sunday thinking, this Ole Miss team is in real trouble. I don't know what they're going to do.
They weren't competitive.
They were not. I'll say they were not playing good baseball, and mentally they didn't look like they were in a really good place.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Mike Bianco said in the locker room afterward. I don't know what he said to his team, but whatever it is, write it down, keep it on hand, say it again next time you have a problem, because it has worked.
And sometimes you have the right guys mentally. I mean, I'm not making this comparison because I think Ole Miss is going to win the national championship, but that 2022 team had the right guys mentally that handled. They climbed all the way up to number 1, and they had that few-week stretch where they played awful and then slipped into the tournament. But, mentally they could handle that. Maybe this team's just like that. They played bad baseball. They got whooped up on by State, and maybe instead of – because when you have something like that happen, there's one of 2 things a team really can do. They can quit, or they can do what Ole Miss has done. Mm-hmm. And a lot of teams have quit when they have gotten beat like that. And maybe Ole Miss just has the right mentality within the locker room / dugout. A bunch of guys that maybe took that and decided never again.
I think Hunter Elliott probably plays a role in that. That's a guy in his final year who's tasted national championship success. Did not want his final season in Oxford to go that way. Mm-hmm. And he probably, not that Utermark and probably Dom Decker playing a role as Furness. Well. Furness for sure. Those guys have all tasted success. They didn't want to go out that way. Yeah. So great job for Ole Miss. You can't overstate how big a turnaround it's been. Right now, nobody wants to play them.
No, and it's turned around so much that I had that dumb guy thought of, boy, I hope they're not peaking too early. I mean, it went from, oh my gosh, this could be a disaster to, I hope they're not playing too good too soon. I mean, that's how quickly it's changed,
I mean, you know what, though? I was having the same thoughts about State after they swept Vandy and Ole Miss. I was like, they're playing really good now. I hope this isn't the peak. And then, boom, back-to-back problems. Ole Miss, big series with Georgia this weekend. And Georgia, ask me how I know. Georgia is capable of coming in, getting that series, and getting all three from you. So we'll see what happens. It should be, I'll tell you the one thing, and I said this for the Georgia State series, and it really wasn't the case. But I'll say it again here. Should be exciting games because these are two teams that can knock the baseball out of the ballpark.
Without a doubt. You mentioned Mississippi State. They welcomed in Memphis last night. What did you see?
You know, I mentioned Tyler Pitzer yesterday. I said, he was good against Ole Miss on Friday night in that series, and maybe they're giving him the start here just to see how he looks, and then maybe he'll get the start in the Governor's Cup. And he was not good last night. Gave up 5 hits in an inning and a third to Memphis, was down 1-0. State had to go to the bullpen. Look, it was the usual suspects out of the bullpen. Jack Gleason comes into a bases-loaded situation. What does he do? He gets out of it. That's what Jack Gleason does.
4 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3.
Really good. Jack Bauer comes in. He gives up a home run, but other than that, he was really, really solid for Mississippi State. I thought Dane Burns was good for the Bulldogs. He did get into a jam there in the ninth, but they bring in Maddox Webb, and what does he do? He gets out of it.
And so the other Maddox
Miller was good as well.
2 complete, had 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, the State's bullpen is pretty reliable in those situations right now. Not seeing Chris Billingsley lets me think that he'll play a role this weekend for Mississippi State. But the story coming out of the game is this. Blake Beavis, since he has been inserted into the starting lineup, has had trouble getting out. He keeps getting hits. And then you have Vitas Valencius, who gets to start last Sunday, has 3 hits in that game, and then last night he has the go-ahead RBI, and then he has the 3-run home run that salts away the game for Mississippi State. Teal doesn't start last night. I mean, I look at that lineup and I go, I don't know that you put him back in. That you probably go Beavis at first. You let your outfielders be Valencius and Parker with Chance in center. Teal has not been playing really well. I'm kind of surprised Ryder Woodson didn't get a night off. He's been struggling lately. He's got 24 strikeouts in SEC play, most on the team. I thought maybe last night, if you're going to let Teal have the night off, maybe you let Woodson do as well. They did not do that. So we'll see if what that means going forward. But as we talked about at the beginning of the show, when you look around the nation, this season especially, and all the midweek losses, all that matters is putting the number in the left-hand column, getting the win. And, was it the prettiest game? Did State dominate? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. But they won, and they can move forward to this weekend with this series coming up with LSU and a chance to, really put themselves back on. I don't know that last week I would describe beating South Carolina as back on track. I would describe it more as like maybe getting right or rebooting a little bit. But if you win this series this weekend, or if you can somehow find a way to sweep, and I certainly wouldn't predict a sweep when it comes to Mississippi State LSU, but if you could do that and you're 13-8,
it's a bad LSU team.
They are bad, and they are bad, and that makes them dangerous, in my opinion. So I would just say that if State can find a way to get those wins, here's the thing: next weekend you go to Texas, right? And you wouldn't be favored to win that series by any stretch of the imagination, but I forget what the guy's name was on Arrested Development, but it doesn't work out for them. But maybe it can work out for us. So if you could somehow beat Texas, well, then you're right in the mix of everything. So
why can't I remember his name either?
It's not Bob. It rhymes with Bob. Something Bluth. What was his name?
So it wasn't Job that said that.
Job.
But he's not the one that said that. That was
it's the bald guy with the mustache.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
But I don't remember his name either in the show.
Look it up.
Will, you know?
Will, do you know?
I don't. Dr. Funke?
Yes.
Yeah, it was Dr. Funke.
Okay.
What was his first name?
I don't remember.
Gosh darn it.
He joined the Blue
It
Man
works out
Group,
for those people. But it might work out for us.
It might work.
That's where Mississippi State is. But they got to do that. They got to win this series with LSU.
We'll be right back. We'll talk some rodeo. They're
right.
bringing a bull in here. Hadad's going to get on it when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Are they actually bringing a bull?
No.
Oh, I was getting nervous for a second there.
We'll be right back in the Pearl River Resort Studio on the road in Sentobia at Northwest. The celebration of champions going on here in just a little bit.
From the sea, Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Do you ever get so excited that you just can't wait?
Yes! Sports Talk Mississippi, covering your Mississippi teams.
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Don't touch that dial! Here on Super Talk Mississippi.
All right, they shut down the Hadad getting on a bull thing. They said it's a liability issue, and we don't have it covered.
For the bull?
We don't have it covered in insurance, so Hadad's not getting on.
They were worried about the animal, not me.
No, I mean, we could have made that happen. I didn't know about that. Nobody ever came to me and asked anything about that, or I would have made. Honestly, I can slip some things through the cracks if that was going to be something.
you know the paperwork to push through.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So that voice belongs to yet another champion coach here at Northwest, Coach Will Loomis, Northwest Rodeo. I think if you've never listened to one of those shows we've done up here before, if this is your first time, the idea of college rodeo might be a little strange to you, but it is not a strange thing at all. It is a nationwide thing here, and it starts here in Sentobia.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have the privilege this weekend to put on the very last college rodeo, so everybody that leaves here will know if they made the college national finals in Casper, Wyoming or not. So in all 9 disciplines of rodeo, college rodeo is a huge thing, and it grows up from junior rodeo, high school rodeo, college rodeo, and then into the amateur and professional ranks. And so, anyways.
Kind of maybe a weird question here, but it feels like Western culture right now is a big thing. Like the Yellowstone series, and it feels like everybody's, deep into cowboy culture, whatever. Are you seeing a little bit of that, like an interest spike in rodeo as a result of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think 2 things. Taylor Sheridan's done an amazing job with Yellowstone, and just different. All of his things seems like all of his projects seem like they're somewhat Western based, or a lot of them, And then the second thing is the Cowboy Channel. So rodeo is now mainstream on DirecTV, Dish, anywhere. There's a Cowboy Channel watch app where you can watch any rodeo that's going on. That's professional, that's PRCA, and all of our major tour stops are all on TV now too, national television.
He really does make it look cool. Now he writes himself as the coolest character in all of his shows, but he really does. I never would have thought of that, Hadad. So, how much has it changed since you were competing to now?
Man, a ton. It really has. Just the money. There's rodeos that are stepping up. The added money's getting bigger. The prize, the purse of it is getting bigger. And you just look at what makes the national finals every year, and that number keeps going up and up and up by $10,000 to $15,000 for us a year. And whoever wins the world championship has more and more and more money every year. So it's been huge. I mean, you're talking. This is my 10th season, and just in 10 years, it takes double what it used to take to make the national finals than it did in my first year of rodeo.
It's so interesting to think of you because you're not only a coach, you're an active rodeo guy, right?
Yep.
Rodeoer. I don't know what the word is. You think about like football. Like the coaches aren't out there playing.
Right. Yeah.
Basketball the same way. What's something that you've learned from doing it that you bring to your team?
For us, and I think most sports, I think a lot of it's the mental side of the game, and that's something that I really feel like nobody can ever really truly master it, in my opinion. But I feel like I'm on the upper side of my game as far as the mental game goes, and that's something that I can really hand over to the athletes. There's a lot of really, really talented people that have never made the national finals or even the college national finals, but are extremely talented, and that comes from the mental aspect of the game and being able to leave that last, just like if you drop a pass. If you drop a pass, you got to go and catch the next pass. You can't let that last drop pass create the rest of the game for you. So it's the same exact thing for us. If you strike out, you can't. You got to go up there and be ready to hit the ball in the next pitch.
Can you expand on that a little bit more? I'm curious because I played golf, and you hear in golf it's 90% mental. So what else, when you're talking about the mental side of this, do you do as a coach?
So I think there's a lot of times where, we need to take chances, and we can dive really deep into rodeo, start talking about, the start. And the start is the head steer, the head start that we have to give the steer or the calf in the timed events. So sometimes you need to press, sometimes you don't need to press. And you need to be able to make that decision in a split second. And depending on knowing the numbers and knowing, where if I just need to not break the barrier here and I just need to go make a qualified time to win, then that's what we need to do that time. You don't have to press every single time. And I think a lot of that is and then you see a lot of it in the rough stock events. Guys get in there and they get psyched out. They get unfocused. They get to, like, if they tie their hand in a bull rope and a bull's moving around or bucking around in a chute, they lose focus. So a lot of times it's really just staying focused and staying zoned in. And what I call the flow state, and that came from my college rodeo coach. The flow state's just when you get into that, you see in tunnel vision, and that's the only thing you hear, that's the only thing you see.
Like clearing the mechanism For Love of the Game, if you ever seen that movie.
Absolutely, clearing the mechanism. That's exactly what it is.
Awesome.
And everybody's kind of got a little routine, when they're kind of getting ready. Some people's routine is 45 minutes of getting ready, stretching, getting in the zone. My deal's about 15 minutes. I can do a few stretches. And since I was a kid, my uncle was a rodeo professionally as well, and he installed what I call my light switch. So when I get ready to compete, I just turn my light switch on 15 minutes out, and then I'm ready. Nothing else matters in the world except me running that bulldog and steer, that steer wrestling steer. And then when I get done, when I walk out of the arena, I turn my light switch back off. And then I'm just back to normal wheel.
So how different would this interview be right now if we were catching up with you 10 minutes before you had to go do a rodeo event?
We probably wouldn't do it, honestly, if it was 10 minutes before. But, yeah, it would be a different I mean, to me, it's no different than when a guy straps a chin strap on a helmet. You know what I mean? Like, you go into that, especially with something that's got so much aggression involved, like football, like steer wrestling, like wrestling. Those things are literally like when I get in my zone, I'm ready to break something. You know what I mean? And it's the same way. I mean, I'm ready to run through somebody if I'm going to play football. It's the same exact thing.
Do you have a playlist? Like headphones playlist that you lock in on?
I'm a psycho. I really am. So, and I've been told this. I don't do music. I can drive all night long and not listen to music. Now, if I'm in the truck or the car with my wife, we've got to have music. And I can do music, and I know a ton of songs, all different genres. But, like, when I just, like, I don't know, man. I'm a little bit of I like that. I'm a little different. Like, I'm just kind of get to myself and just, like, I'm ready to break something.
See, I figured the way you were talking, you'd have, like, Limp Bizkit's break stuff on your get ready playlist.
That would probably be a good one. And honestly, like, when I was playing football in high school and stuff, I mean, I would jam out with the guys or whatever, but now it's just, I don't know, man. I like doing my thing.
So you're just sitting in silence?
Basically.
Oh, wow. That is a little psycho.
It's a little psycho, man. It's a little psycho. Yeah.
You're a popular man here on the C Spire text line. Here, 601-879-4395. Will is a class act, as is his whole family. That's good stuff. They're awesome. I was at the NFR Finals in Vegas in December and watched Coach Loomis. That's very good. And this man refers to you as a West Point legend. Stand up.
Yep.
Bigger West Point legend, you or Brandon Walker? I'm glad you thought about it.
I don't know. No comment.
There you go.
No comment.
That's good stuff. We don't need to give that guy. We don't need to give that guy's head any bigger than it already is. We were talking earlier, and I've asked every coach the same question, so we'll ask you. Winning mentality. You have it here at Northwest in every sport. It starts from the top down.
Absolutely.
In your opinion, what's the most important part of being a winner, the winning mentality?
As far as, like, from a college standpoint?
From any standpoint.
I think any standpoint, I still think it's having a strong mental game. I think that's any sport. You have to have your mechanics down pat. You have to have your routine in place. But you have to be able to go out and compete. And I think being able to compete under any level and under any stress level, it's all how you put your mind and all how you attack it through your mind.
Have you started, like yourself, seeing like a mental coach or read about that kind of stuff to help your athletes? Because you see it in sports now. I mentioned golf, especially in golf. Guys if they have the yips or whatever, they will go to like a psychologist and sit down and figure out the mental side. Do you engage in that at all?
No, I've actually had somebody reach out to me about doing that, and I just never have. And I think it would be great to sit down and talk to somebody about something like that. And I think it would be great for my athletes too as well. I just haven't gotten that done yet. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I honestly, like the very start of my professional career, I rodeoed with a guy named Casey Jones, and at that time he was in his mid-40s and was still steer wrestling at a high level. And to be able to stay in the game that long, you have to be so mentally strong, but also physically strong. And he was instrumental for me learning how to. I felt like I was a winner before then, but when I rodeoed with him for 2 years, I learned the real mental game, and to be able to walk out of the arena, and then that run didn't matter anymore. To be able to move on to the next one, because in professional rodeo, especially during the summer, we're running steers every single day. So in different towns, 10 hours away. So you have to be able to block that out and go move on and run the next one.
What's your relationship like with all the other coaches here? Because when you walked in, they're all like, hey, you can see like the camaraderie happening behind us. Is it really like a family atmosphere?
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody, even like, football, soccer, the cheerleaders, I mean, everybody, man, basketball coaches, Coach Carson in the baseball, I mean, everybody's just really supportive of everybody else, and we've got a lot of coaches and athletes coming to our rodeo tomorrow night out here at Northwest. So look forward to a big Northwest showing over there tomorrow night.
Give us some. We've got about a minute left. Give us some information on if people want to come out to the rodeo. What can they do?
Tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday night. Saturday night being the finale. The best 10 contestants in every event from Friday or Thursday and Friday, 7 p.m. $15 tickets at the door. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a great show. We've got a great announcer. We've got some great sponsors. We're presented by Bank First. Bank First does a ton for Northwest Rodeo and for Northwest in general. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a great time. 7 p.m. every night. So
you said you wanted to get you want to get out here and put the bulls out here on the practice field.
Yeah, hey man, we could do it. Honestly, Pendleton, Oregon, there's a rodeo on a football field on the grass. One of the biggest rodeos that we go to every year, and I think it'd be awesome on the turf.
We need to make it happen.
I don't know if they'd let that happen, but
it might tear it up a little bit.
It would definitely tear it up.
But so be it.
It's only $14 million.
The turf wasn't that much.
Yeah.
It was probably. But it was
we can get it. We can get it. Yeah. Coach Loomis, we always appreciate you. Thanks so much.
I appreciate it.
All right, we got more to do when we get back here at Northwest Community College, the celebration of champions here in Sentobia. Back in just a minute on Sports Talk Mississippi.
In the Venable Glass.
I listen to it at work.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
Did you get that memo?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're not going to waste any time. We had to move him up because I don't know if you guys knew this, but we're at Northwest celebrating champions, and he's a champion again. Coach Benji Parker, Northwest football, joining us right now. And, Coach, you did it again.
Well, we did. We had a really good year, certainly proud of our guys, and it was a lot of fun.
What is the key to longevity? Because you've seen, especially in college football, coaches that they have it and for whatever reason they lose it. Jimbo Fisher is a guy that won a national championship and just lost that magic. Dabo Swinney, for maybe different reasons, won a couple national championships, and it just hasn't been the same. You've been coaching for a long time. How are you able to maintain your level of success?
I guess a lot of luck. I don't know. There's got to be some luck. We got good coaches that, been able to surround myself with. Good guys, good coaches, and a lot of good players too, So you get some good coaches that really work, and the kids buy in. That's kind of what I see being the recipe anyway,
No, absolutely.
When we think about, college athletics nowadays, football is always the first thing everybody thinks about. And here at Northwest, that's no different. And this is a great program that you've been able to build up here. Do you feel like football, I don't know if the analogy is going to work here, but it's kind of like the big river that feeds all the other ones here? The people say it starts with the football team and it kind of trickles down to everybody else, or is it just, everybody's in the same community there?
Well, I think, Northwest football goes back forever.
Yeah.
Whatever the year is, I think about Coach Franklin and even before him, they were winning football games. But also, you go back to baseball with Coach Miles and basketball. So I think the tradition at Northwest has not just been football, several sports, and, and I think they all feed off each other.
Yeah. We've been talking about it all day. I've asked every coach the same question, but we talk about having a culture of winning here at Northwest, and it goes through every sport. To you, when I talk about wanting to be a winner, having a winning mindset, what's the single most important thing to that?
To winning, being able to recruit good players, certainly, and we're able to, our location, our facilities, our administration, in my opinion, we've got the best of all of that.
Yeah. What do you look forward to every year? When you've coached as long as you have, is there something you look forward to every year? You're like, this is the thing I enjoy the most about coaching?
Yep. The older I get, the more I want to be around the players and you know, get to know them personally a little bit. You know, I like bringing them to my house and them seeing me and me seeing them away from the practice field. I like that. I like on Thursday nights watching our guys come back to our games, you know, and being on the sideline. That's the stuff that excites me, kind of at this phase, I guess you would.
It's interesting. You're not talking about, you know, wins. It's the personal stuff. Maybe that's your key to longevity.
Well,
is the wins are secondary to building the relationships and that kind of thing.
Well, it could be. And look, nobody likes to win a football game more than I do. Trust me on that, okay? Trust me. I love to win a football game. But seeing those guys come back and when they tell you, you know, Coach, I remember when I first got here, you know, I was so ready to leave this and that. And then they go on to another 4-year school and they call and go, you know what, I wish Northwest was a 4-year school. I'd come back right now. Wow. So, you know, and that's kind of neat.
Well, what does this facility mean? $14 million, not indoor but covered facility, and it's beautiful. What has it done? What does it do for your program?
Well, certainly we're going to benefit from it. I mean, we can get in here, you know, when it's hot, when it's lightning, when it's raining, and not just us. Every sport, cheer, dance. You know, I don't know if you guys have been through there.
We did, yeah.
Isn't that phenomenal?
Yeah,
it's outstanding. So everybody will be able to benefit from this.
It seems like that's something that's a common theme here at Northwest is the facilities, the commitment from the administration all the way down. It's a big part of it. Now, that being said, Coach Loomis said he wants to bring some of these bulls over here and have a little football rodeo. What do you think?
Coach Loomis can get them over here, and it's, you know, come at your own. Benji Parker will not be here. Trust me, he can keep the bulls.
And we'll have to work up a fundraiser for the turf after those bulls get done with it.
Exactly.
Coach, you know, another season, you know, not too far away when we think about football. I mean, it feels like it's far away, but it never really is. Yeah. Do you still have that same fire you had when you first started coaching?
Absolutely. Now, I don't want to wish my life away, so I'm not saying I'm ready to start tomorrow, okay? But still do. I can't. Every night I think about what we need to be doing. What are we going to do when do we bring our players back? When do we give them off? When do we? So absolutely, I still love it. Think about it, talk to our coaches about it all the time, and my family, my wife, and absolutely, couldn't live without it.
Something tells me we're going to come back here in a year. We're going to be talking about another championship.
You guys are welcome back. I can tell you that, because every time y'all show up,
we'll keep bringing wins. That's what we'll do.
Good things happen. Trust me.
What you really need to do is you come up with a little slush fund, so we don't go see Gulf Coast or East Mississippi or any of them.
We need to get y'all some offices right here. That's what we need.
I'll move. We'll move up here. That's
for the right price. Yeah, we're in.
Coach Benji Parker, Northwest football celebration of champions about to get started. Thanks, Coach. We appreciate
you. Thanks for having me. Absolutely.
College football fix in just a minute.
Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Sports Talk Mississippi. Yeah! On Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We are live here in Sentobia at the Celebration of Champions. It has begun here at Northwest Community College. They have pyro, which if I had known that, I would have been like, can we get a picture of me and Borkey in the pyro? It would have looked like the bloodline out there. It would have been fantastic. What's up on Sports Talk Mississippi? In about 30 minutes, we're going to talk to some more coaches, as we do every year here. From you're not going to believe this, guys, but Coach Christian and Coach Casey, national championship coaches in cheerleading and dance, so we'll have them on in about 30 minutes. What's up on Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you by our friends over at Ag Up, who want to remind you that it's supposed to rain this weekend, guys, which means the grass is going to grow, and it means you're going to have to mow it.
Yep.
And if that's the case, best to do it with a John Deere tractor. Right now, there's a John Deere 3025E with a loader waiting on you over at your nearest Ag Up dealer, and there is an Ag Up near you because there's 15 locations throughout the throughout the state of Mississippi. So wherever you live, you're near an Ag Up. You can get some great John Deere mowers. there's all sorts of deals right now. They're in their spring tractor blowout. You can look online at agup.com for all the details. What's up on Sports Talk Mississippi? Well, it's 5 o'clock. What's up is the College Football Fix. The College Football Fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford Tough. That's the best-selling truck in America. The Ford F-150. Guys, I don't have to make this too hard, do I? You need a new truck. You need a Ford. You know where to go. Your Mississippi Ford dealers. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
So Kalen DeBoer gets a contract extension at Alabama. His salary's up to $12.5 million per year. Mike Rodak, what's up?
That's a guy at Alabama who hasn't won any important games.
Not yet.
Not yet. We can agree on that one.
Mike Rodak is a writer for Alabama for 24/7. He has put together the salaries of Kalen DeBoer's coaching staff. Remember, everybody out there listening, they don't have enough money. They're all broke, and you need to give them more of yours. Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator, will make $1 million. Kane Womack, the defensive coordinator, $2.35 million.
Hold up. The offensive coordinator at Alabama only makes $1 million a year?
Oh, remember, DeBoer's
I get it, but
that's what the 2026 salary for Ryan Grubb is.
Does that not seem low to you?
Oh, just wait.
Okay.
Kane Womack, $2.35 million. Next year, it'll be $2.5 million. 2028, it'll be $2.65 million. For the defensive coordinator. The special teams coordinator, $500,000. The quarterback's coach, which is different from the offensive coordinator, $700,000. The running backs coach, $850K. Derek Nix making $400K this year, but $950 next year. Good for him. The tight ends coach, $550K. The offensive line coach, $600,000. The defensive line coach, $1.3 million. The outside linebackers coach, $725K. The inside linebackers coach, $700K. The defensive backs coach, $1.1 million. The backup defensive backs coach, $485,000. The strength and conditioning coach, $1.1 million, and the GM, $1.2 million.
You're paying the GM more than you're paying your offensive coordinator. It's pretty surprising.
The GM, though,
he's good. It's Courtney Morgan. Is that his name?
Courtney Morgan.
He is a really good recruiter. He knows how to get talent.
Yeah,
talent is not Alabama's issue these past couple of years.
It is not. And in the GM these days,
it's maybe the second most important position after head coach.
Yes, absolutely.
So, did you see the I didn't think we get to say his name on the show again. Thank you, God, for allowing this to happen. But did you see the comments from Billy Glasscock recently about the way that they handled the portal at Ole Miss? And I guess we'll try to do so at LSU.
But here's the thing about that. That was reported as if that was unique. That's how everybody does it.
Well, is it? Because I thought he made a good point. He's like, there are a lot of players who aren't playing who are making starter money. And his thought process was, we will not pay non-starters starter money.
Except for Ulysses Bentley.
Well, that's a different. That's when personal feelings get involved. That was
Ulysses Bentley got starter money.
That was something different. That is not the same.
But I mean, so I read about that and I thought that sounds familiar, though. I mean, that's how you should operate if you're not anyway. Is you identify 30-ish players that you believe are at a premium and pay them premium money, and then everybody else has got to be a big step back. There's just not enough money to go around. Spencer Sanders, somebody says another one. That was before, I think that was before Glasscock got there.
Yeah.
And that was a Kiffin thing. But those salaries, that's why I get so pressed and why I defend you guys, the fans, so much. Because Pat Forty wrote an article about Louisville. Yeah. And how Louisville has had to empty their reserves, basically. They operated at a $12 million deficit last year. And that's an example of the dire straits of college sports. I'm sorry. You can look at Louisville's books, And if your business, you out there listening, you have a business, if your business operated the way they did, you would get fired and everybody involved would get fired. I'm just so tired of hearing the same old, we have no money, please save us, Congress, this is so awful. South Carolina spent $202 million last year. They made $203. They'll make more than $203 this year. Guess what? They'll spend $1 million short of what they make. They spend recklessly, and then they tell you, the fan, that you need to give more, and even though everything's more expensive for you, you're not doing enough, and it drives me insane. Be more efficient before you start crying to the fans and to Congress about not having enough money. It drives me crazy.
The other thing that makes me shake my head about this is that we talk about, like, we're going to have to cut some of these sports, got to cut some of our Olympic sports. Those sports operated just fine when there wasn't a $70 million a year check from ESPN. Like, there was never a time in the 1970s or 80s where they were like, we may have to cut sports. Like, nobody was cutting sports. But now when programs are making more money than ever, we may have to cut some sports. Make that make sense.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's a scare tactic is what it is, or it's just a model of efficiency.
There's a reason that the college administrators and politicians are trying to work together. They're the same people.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do anything.
Yeah. And it's only going to get worse. And I saw one of the conversations, speaking of Congress, was to put a cap on coaches' earning and movement.
See, I don't agree with that, though.
But then this will all end, though.
Yeah.
That'll all end the second the coaches get restricted too.
Yeah,
they won't lobby for it anymore.
Right. But that's something I don't agree with. I believe in the free market. I believe that whatever the demand for you is, that's what your salary.
Unless they sit down and agree, like in the NFL.
Yeah. But there's no coaching salary cap in the NFL.
No, it's just contract movement and stuff.
Yeah, it's nothing like that.
Yeah, Sean Payton's making like $20 million.
Yeah,
something like that.
Worth it.
Oh my gosh, is he worth it?
We'll pay him $21 to come back to New Orleans.
Unless his quarterback sprains his ankle celebrating again.
One of the weirdest things ever.
But yeah,
Marty is right. He's like, it's our fault.
It is our fault.
Like all it would take is 1 year but it would take every fan. You can't have any team's fans step into it, right? It's got to be everybody's going to say, we're not doing this anymore. We're not giving you any money this year. You've got enough.
Yeah.
And it'll fix itself at that point, but it would be like the one fan base is like, this is our chance. Yeah. That's when like Iowa State is like, this is the year.
Our time.
We can do it. We got money.
But that is why if I rant about it a lot, and maybe too much, probably too much, but that's why, guys, because this is what I mention the most. I grew up very lucky. My dad was able to take me to sporting events all over the region because we could afford it.
Right.
It was affordable. I got to see games at Clemson and South Carolina and North Carolina and stuff like that. I've been to a lot of these games. I went to Braves games, all that stuff, because it was affordable. And I am looking at the cost to go to a neutral site college baseball game in a stadium that will not sell out, and I can't afford to go. And my son will not grow up with the same opportunities that I got because it's not because of me.
Yeah.
I live the same kind of in the same class as my dad did when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But I can't afford it. He could.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of, and that's why I talk about it so much.
I used to go to games, and I used to go to a game in Jackson with my dad, and we could sit 25 rows up on the 30-yard line for $30. Not a ticket. The two of us, $30. Maybe we'd spend $20 at the concessions, a couple of drinks, a popcorn, maybe a hot dog. It was more expensive to eat after the game than it was to eat at the game, and that is not the same.
It's not the same.
I'm at the point now where unless I can get a friend to be like, hey, do you want to sit in a skybox or do you want to sit in the premium seating with me? If I'm talking about bringing like my kids, it's not worth it. It's not even worth it to get free tickets because I'm going to drop that much on concessions and everything else.
Somebody in the text line says I pulled out my 03 Cotton Bowl ticket the other day. Face value $55.
Probably a good seat too. For
Probably a good
$55.
seat.
Yeah.
And I saw today where the Ryder Cup next year, the get in the door face value ticket is $600.
We talked about WrestleMania $1,000 to sit on the last row of the stadium.
That's why I talk about it so much.
For a 4-hour show that was 82 minutes worth of action.
It's ridiculous. So forgive me for being repetitive, guys, but I believe that you are the ones getting the short end of this stick. That's your college football fix, driven by Ford. Raises for everybody at Alabama today. We'll be back.
From the Venable Glass.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. I'm going to put you on the spot here.
I had some for you, but you go ahead.
Okay, I'll do this quickly. There is a new name.
Mine's the rest of the segment, so you go ahead.
Okay, there's a new name that you need to remember. So we've been talking about players that have emerged in the spring.
Yeah.
Jonte Cook is now a new name that you need to remember.
That's a name it's interesting because I know the recruiting profile of that young man.
Yeah, he was a
highly recruited guy. Signed with Alabama, I believe. Texas out of high school?
Texas out of high school.
Okay.
And then went to Syracuse.
Transferred. He's had some off-the-field issues, but I know the talent is high. Mm-hmm. There's a high ceiling on him.
Apparently, yes, every bit of the 5-star that he was supposed to be. Pete Golding talked at length about it yesterday. I podcasted about it last night. I know you don't like that I use that as an adjective, but
I don't mind podcasting. Messaged is the one that people have been getting on to you about.
Or messaging. I podcasted about it last night because Pete Golding had a long answer, essentially where you look at some of these guys, maybe some take time to mature or whatever, but they realize when they've transferred a couple of times and they're at a place like this, some guys just don't get it and they never will. And then there's guys like Jonte Cook that the light bulb has come on of, I better get right or else football is not going to work out for me.
Yeah.
And apparently that light bulb has come on, and that is a guy that Deuce Alexander's already there, but there's high expectations for Jonte Cook. He has stepped on campus and really turned a lot of heads, both on the field and off the field also. Is there a new emerger for State?
Well, I was going to say, there's a guy like that a few years ago with Ole Miss, with Chris Marshall. Remember, went to A&M, couldn't get it together. Went to Boise last year. He had almost 600 yards receiving. He's at Arkansas now. So maybe this is the last chance for him. A guy like that for State.
Or just a spring emerger that we haven't talked about yet.
Getting to watch the scrimmage, we talked about it, but I want to bring him up again. Somebody has to compliment Fluff Bothwell. J.J. Hill could be that guy.
Really, as a freshman.
I was super impressed. Again, it's a scrimmage, and it kind of limited, but he made plays. He had his first carry, he breaks a tackle, and if they don't blow it dead, he's going to go 75 for a touchdown. He looks like an SEC football player as a freshman. He's 220 pounds. He's built like an SEC football player. Somebody's got to be that second running back. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if J.J. Hill is that guy. So that's what I'm going to do. I know you're a fan of Peter Schrager. That's the mock draft.
I do like Peter Schrager.
Put out his last one today. I want to go over it with you. No surprises at Mendoza at 1. Jeremiah Love third to the Cardinals, but he does say that could be a trade spot. And he mentions the Saints could trade up to third to get Love. I don't know if that's an idea or not.
After you just...
Well, and
Schrager doesn't make stuff up.
Yeah.
So
he also mentions the Chiefs could move up as well.
Oh,
no, I'm sorry.
Please
no, I'm sorry. He has the Saints moving up to take Arvell Reese.
If they give up next year's first to get him,
that's fine.
I don't like it.
I don't like that either. So, Sonny Styles to the Titans at 4, Reese to the Giants at 5. Down to the Saints, he has them taking Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State.
I'll take that.
Would you agree that's probably the safest pick in the draft? Like, you know what you're getting. You're getting a guy that you could probably going to plug in, and he's going to give you 10 years of a near Pro Bowl level.
Yeah, especially after you lose Alontae Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was a good player. Yeah, you didn't want to pay him where did he go? I forget where. Anyway, he got paid more than what you like to. But, yeah, that would be a pick that we come back here on Friday from Double Decker, by the way. Come by and see us on the square. I will be like, just nod my head, yes. Good pick. I'm very happy. First-round success.
So, and Trigger says, New Orleans needs a receiver. The pick before that, he has Carnell Tate going to the Commanders. I wonder if Tate is there. Has that changed anything? Bain he has all the way down at 12.
Interesting. That's a slide compared to most people.
Yeah, and he has the 12 being a trade. He went ahead and projected some trades. So he has Dallas moving up to 9, taking Mansour Delaney from LSU, the defensive back, the quarterback.
A lot of people think Dallas is going to move up in this draft.
Jordan Tyson going off the board at 10, the wide receiver from Arizona State to the Giants. Caden Proctor, go do some SEC guys here. Projected trade to the Lions. That would be a great. If the Lions could have Penei Sewell and Caden Proctor, if you're Jared Goff, you feel pretty good about your life.
Yeah.
Like, I should be okay there at that position. Trying to find some more SEC guys here. Monroe Freeling to the Steelers. I mean, getting a tackle if you got a quarterback as old as Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, is Aaron Rodgers even going to play for the Steelers this year?
Know.
He's doing that same crap he always does.
He is. He'll probably play. The Chargers taking Keldrick Falk, the edge from Auburn, with the 22nd pick.
Auburn losing a lot off of last year's team.
Casey Concepcion, 28th to the Panthers.
Ah, man, I don't like that because there's
him and Ted McMillan. That's a great duo.
That's a good duo.
Good thing they have Bryce Young.
But there's a line of thinking that he could slip into the second and be there at pick 40.
Jermon McCoy, 30th to the Dolphins. They need a corner. Why not? Zion Young to the Patriots. He feels like a Patriots player. Great pass rusher. And then Ty Simpson, last pick of the via projected trade with Seattle to the Cardinals, who need a quarterback. Ty Simpson. I tell you what, if I'm a Cardinals fan and I get Jeremiah Love and Ty Simpson, I'm feeling okay.
I like that a lot.
I feel fine about that.
It's like what the Giants did.
Yeah, when they took. Yeah, you're correct.
When they traded back in to get Dart.
Yeah,
Dart wasn't like your surefire top 5.
Right.
But he was good enough to trade back in for.
Right.
That would make sense.
Saints taking Downs. Like I said, I just think in terms of safe, that's a safe pick.
Mm-hmm.
With Bain, I know I like Reuben Bain. I think he'll be really good, but there are going to be the people who say, well, the arm length is an issue.
And Rob, last week, I mean, the comparisons in the arm length are not good.
They're not good.
There's
Downs,
nobody, really.
Watching him at Alabama, then watching him at Ohio State, he was coached last year by an NFL coach, Matt Patricia.
Mm-hmm.
He called him, who was on Schrager's podcast, and said, this is a quote, Downs could be the face of a franchise, could immediately become the smartest player for an NFL defense. That I like. And they mentioned that Brandon Staley was really good with Derwin James when he was with the Chargers. Got a lot out of him. Could do the same for Downs in New Orleans. I have no issues with if Caleb Downs is the pick.
No issues at all. And there's enough receivers, I think, to where they don't get desperate, although this has not been talked about at all. If you could get A.J. Brown for the 8th pick, I know you've got to pay Olave too, so that would be 2 big contracts. But if you could get A.J. Brown for number 8, would you do it?
So the Saints have
you would have to pay premium.
The Saints have a lot of issues. I just feel like there's going to be receivers in the 2nd and 3rd round that you can take that can give you production. I would not make that trade. I love A.J. Brown as a player. I think he'd be really, really good. I wanted the Saints to pick him when he was a rookie, but I would not make that trade. I would not.
It would be great too if one of these two. I say 2. Mississippi receivers, I know there's more, but the consensus anyway, and of course things change in the draft, is that DeJon Stribling and Brendan Thompson are going to be the first 2 receivers from Mississippi taken off the board. I know that Trey Wallace is there, but it's going to be those 2 first, it seems.
Yeah.
If either one of them land in New Orleans in the 3rd or the 4th round, that's also a win. Stribling in particular, if you can get him in the 3rd round, my goodness. I mean, big-bodied receiver, flew at the combine, super experienced, reliable. I mean, it's just a deep receiver class, which is why he's kind of in the position that he's in. But if the Saints end up with DeJon Stribling, say in the 3rd round,
well, here's a Saints mock draft. This is from Saints Wire. They have been going wide receiver 1st round. They haven't taken Carnell Tate, which I wouldn't mind. Ohio State wide receivers, they just hit.
If Cam Jordan is coming back, that's more palatable. If he's leaving and you don't go defensive line in the 1st round, I don't know about that.
Well, I like their 2nd round pick a lot, D'Angelo Pons the cornerback from Indiana. If he's available in the second round, absolutely take that kid. He's a player. Romello Height in the third round, the defensive end edge out of Texas Tech. Good pass rusher there. Bryce Boddicker from a linebacker out of Oregon. That's the fourth-round pick in this mock for the Saints. Fifth round, doesn't really matter what the name is. Iowa offensive lineman.
Good, yeah.
I'm good.
Sign him up, yeah.
Same thing with the other fifth-round pick. Alabama defensive lineman.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. Jamari Taylor, running back from Virginia, also a fifth-round pick. Saints have 3 picks in the fifth round. Sixth-round pick, a familiar name, Xavion Thomas from LSU. Of course, also played at Mississippi State. A guy that, I can't help but think about him had he stayed at Starkville. He would have probably caught 150 passes the last 2 years.
He would have been a lot more productive.
And
frankly, I know
he
LSU
gave away a lot of NIL money.
Gave away money, and I mean, it's not like he went to LSU and won a lot.
Yeah.
And back to what we talk about also, where's home? LSU fans aren't going to be super an LSU booster's not going to look at him and think, oh, I really want to help him out. Remember how great he was?
Right. But he could have stayed in state. It wouldn't have played on great teams, but he would have been
a great player.
I think he would have gotten the catches that Kevin Coleman and Brennan Thompson or maybe Anthony Evans got.
Yeah.
That's right there. That's 147 catches over 2 seasons. And he's a more explosive guy than really either one of them, in terms of speed. Could have done a lot. And this is one of those where I just kind of know. I know what I know. I know what he turned down in NIL to go to LSU. He could be already sitting on a nest egg for the rest of his life, but he wanted to go back and play in LSU. That's just the way it goes.
I guess I get it, but we will get back to talking about champions.
Yes.
Because we've got 2 more.
Yes, we
coming
do.
your way next. Sports Talk Mississippi, Pearl River Resort Studio. Stick with us.
From the Seabrook, Mississippi.
What the heck are you doing?
Sports Talk Mississippi on your radio and in the game. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi, the celebration of champions at Northwest, and we just keep adding to it. But let's start, though, with an accolade that just happened. Is it over yet officially? It is over.
Okay,
so,
very good.
So Hadad's holding the bat.
I haven't gotten tired.
Are you holding it upside down, too? You're holding it upside down.
How do you figure?
The words on the bat are upside down. There you go.
I mean, this is how you hold a bat.
I know, but for the
anyway,
the point of the exercise.
Coach Carson over there at Northwest Baseball today was his 600th career win. They're going to present him with this bat. I believe Dr. Dale is about to head over and do that as we speak, but we just wanted to show this off. Very cool. And this is a actual game-used bat. One of the 600 wins. We don't know exactly which one. Whatever one's the most important. We'll just say that. This is from that game. So, yeah. Very cool, and we'll get that over there, too. And congrats to Coach Carson.
So a big winner there, 2 big winners now. You guys are getting looped together every time you join us, but it's only because you both just keep winning national championships. Patrice Christian and Brandon Casey dance and cheer, respectively. Congratulations again. And how are your arms getting stronger holding the rings up like this? I mean, it
does help.
I would be down like this the whole time, but I mean, you guys, your biceps are probably getting good workouts at this point. Look at those things, Dad?
I mean,
yeah, they're pretty sweet.
I told him, I was like, every time we see them, the rings are getting bigger.
They are getting bigger.
Time.
Eventually, it's just going to be like brass knuckles, but with diamonds on them.
If you win 4, you got to get
all the way across.
An all the way across.
That'll be cool.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
We have to do that.
Yeah.
So another year, another championship. I feel like that it's a silly question, but it can't get old. So what's the word I'm looking for here? Does the grind ever become like, I've set this standard here, I have to meet it? What is that grind like?
It is challenging to keep the same standard and, same expectations for the kids and everything. And having new kids come in every single year, it does kind of help with the turnover process because, we have more freshmen than we do sophomores pretty much every year. So it keeps it fresh. Not having the same amount of people, same exact core people every year. But it is a challenge that we got to kind of push through, and I'm sure you have the same kind of issues with that.
And I always feel like there's someone like on our back too, like, and I think we like to practice that way, like there's someone on our back, and we're always trying to up everything that we did the year prior, so it always kind of feels a little fresher to us and not too old, but I mean, I think it feels amazing every time. So.
How much do you allow yourselves to celebrate? There's a famous story of Nick Saban on the flight home after winning a national championship was watching game film and getting angry on the plane after winning a national championship. Are you guys that crazy, or do you celebrate at least a little bit before you get back into it?
So I know me and my assistant coach Rainey, we on the bus ride home, we will literally start watching other teams and going, oh, we want to try to do that same thing but make it harder, or having ideas that we want to do for the next season. Literally on the bus ride home.
Winners are wired differently, is what I'm hearing.
Right. Yeah. So a lot of the same. Yeah. A lot of the same.
Yeah. So we're here at this is the football practice field. It's indoor facility, but in there, that's y'all's.
Yeah.
That's we got to see a little bit of it. That's a really nice facility. What does having that kind of facility mean for y'all?
I mean, it's everything. I know a lot of college dance teams and cheer teams across the country don't get this opportunity, and most of them are practicing in gyms or whatever practice space that they can get at the last second, and we're so fortunate that this is our guaranteed practice space. I know for us, we have Marley, we have Mirrors. I mean, there's nothing better. We couldn't ask for more.
Absolutely. Yeah, stamp with everything she said. It's unlike anything in the country, with universities, especially the other JUCOs around the state and the country as well. It's uncomparable to a lot of places.
And you have to think there are major colleges that don't have that kind of facility for cheer and dance. There's no way.
Absolutely. Yeah,
they don't.
I keep watching him try to close his fingers.
You can't do it. You can't do it.
I know. I can't put them in my pockets either, and so yeah.
When you're talking to your kids, you sit there like, look, we just gotta.
No, I can't wear them around my kids because it hit them. I've clocked them on the forehead a couple of times on accident, so I gotta just walking around the house.
CTE.
Yeah.
Be careful out there.
I mean, we're having a conversation about champions all day, but everybody here strikes me as humble. Do you use those though in recruiting? When you got somebody in your office, do you make sure they're all of your championship rings are sitting there on the desk? You don't make reference to them, but it's like
this whole thing.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah. What are these? Do you display them prominently, or do you hide them away?
I mean, I feel like it's a nice confidence booster and to remind you of what it is that you're working for. But I feel like as you walk inside our facility, that does enough of a hype up for the kids that come in, just because it has all of our trophies and all of our things. So the rings don't hurt either.
Right. My favorite thing about the rings is, if I'm showing them all off, if I have all of them on my hands or whatever, they go, hey, which one's your favorite? My biggest flex is always like to say the next one.
The next one.
The next one.
Yes.
That's always a good little,
Yeah, ask me in 6 months. I'll show you.
Right.
We talk about growth a lot because there's something going on in sports that's hard to explain. Everything's growing. Golf, fishing, the Bassmaster Classic had 6.5 million viewers. We were talking rodeo earlier, and he said that prize money for the Nationals are just increasing every single year. Are you guys in your sports experiencing the same thing where there's more kids playing, there's more people watching, there's more attention?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know for dance team, social media has blown up related to dance team, and more people are paying attention. I know that at Nationals this past year, there was a line at 4 a.m. just to watch finals. So
wow,
a lot more, we're getting a lot more visibility for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And the cheer world's growing as well. The social media part is a huge aspect of it. And
so you guys have to be on TikTok, is what I'm hearing.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely TikTok.
Yeah. That felt like it was I don't want to do it, but I am.
Yes.
It's kind of funny. You think about, what a college coach had to do 20 years ago, right? And they're like, I got to go visit with the kid here. I got to go to his house. And that was the biggest thing. You're telling me you got to have somebody constantly churning out content.
Right.
But that's part of the recruiting process as well.
Yep.
It is.
We do let the kids get a little creative with it. We let them kind of put their own twist on it, and whatever's the trending thing to do, they kind of will join that, put Northwest's twist on it.
Do they ever make you guys dance?
No.
They make you sing.
I have some. I have done some karaoke.
What are the songs?
I've done some karaoke. It's "You're Welcome" by the Rock. From Moana. That's my only karaoke song.
Okay.
Is that one.
Yep.
Is You're Welcome. So that's it.
Was it worth it? Did it go viral? Did enough people watch it?
I don't know if it got past any. It didn't get viral, no.
Okay.
It was more.
So you just did it for the love of the game.
Just for the team.
Yeah. Just for the love of the game.
Yep.
I mean, Moana is good now.
Yep.
I haven't seen it. My kids aged out of that one.
Very good.
At Frozen, I was out.
Gotcha.
So that was right.
Yeah.
All day long, we've been talking to administrators, coaches, and I've asked them the same question. When you have a culture of winning, mentality is such a big part of that. What is for you? We go with you first. What is the most important part of being a winner, having a winning mentality?
It keeps everybody alert. We're not nobody's settling here. We're not just. Yes, we're happy to have this job, but we're not settling and just relaxing and thinking. We're pushing. Mm-hmm. We're pushing, and I think it pushes everybody. When we have, way more teams here this year than they were last year at the Celebration of Champions. Mm-hmm. It just pushes you to do more and be more. And we want to be a part of this next year as well.
I think for us, the grind and just when you talk about culture, just making sure that we're always I like to keep my kids at a high energy level and constantly supporting each other. And as we go into next year, we're going to want the same things and to push ourselves even further.
I think one thing that's interesting about it, especially for you two, is that you have your own successes within your own team, but then you get to be a part of the other team's successes as well as part of the spirit there. Is that something that you enjoy about your jobs? Is that not only do we win individually, but we win as a university, and we get to be a part of that as well?
It definitely makes our job more fun when we're winning.
Oh, yeah.
If our football,
I would hate to be the cheerleading coach at a school that's not winning.
That's not a lot of fun.
Yeah. All the ones they compete against, basically.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
We said that. You don't need to get in trouble. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
No, he was going. You butchered it.
I was thinking about my next question.
Go.
If there's somebody listening right now who's got a young kid that wants to get into this, what would you guys, as at the top of the sport, suggest for somebody really at any age that is interested and wants to get into what you guys do? What would you tell them to do?
I know for dance, getting in a studio, starting whenever your child is comfortable. I mean, I know my 3.5-year-old does not want to dance right now, so I've got to, just whenever she gets comfortable, but just continuing to motivate them and encourage them. It takes time to get to the ability level that they're at, but encouragement.
Yep, same thing. Just starting early and having fun with it. We have a ton of fun here with both cheer and dance. I know, we have a lot of fun with practicing together, going to nationals and supporting each other. So a lot of it is just having fun and enjoying the process of it all, even from a young age.
It sounds like, you guys have got a job right now that you truly enjoy, but you get to combine that with you win. And, you hear coaches all the time, I love my job. And then they go, for a football perspective, they go 5-7. But they love their job. It's a lot easier to love your job when you got a couple of those on your hands, I would think.
Absolutely. It does make it a lot more enjoyable. And keeps us pushing. We're always trying to push the envelope with who we're competing against, but also ourselves. We want to be the best version of ourselves and get better every year.
Definitely.
Well, we're looking forward to talking to you again next year when we do this again. It feels like feels like we're trapped in a time as a flat circle kind of thing where we just keep coming back to Northwest. We keep talking to these coaches, and they keep telling us about, I won another title. So
that's right.
Yes.
Coach Christian, Coach Casey, we appreciate y'all as always, and good luck going forward. I don't think I need to wish y'all too much luck. I think you got it on lock at this point.
Thank
All right.
you.
We're going to wrap things up with you here on Sports Talk Mississippi when we come back. And we'll, let you know what's going to happen on Thunder and Lightning because I'm going to be sitting right here for another hour.
They should make you stand. We got rid of the chairs. We shouldn't bring them back.
Look, I stood for like 7 hours on Saturday. I can't. I got to sit down. So we'll do that when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi live in Sentobia at Northwest Community College.
From the Venable Glass.
Let's go. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. Don't hurt yourself. Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
All of our guests today appeared on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Mississippi Farm Bureau. I'm Michael Borkey alongside Brian Hadad. Will East in the studio. It is Sports Talk Mississippi. Join us on Friday. We will be there. Hadad and myself, some special guests as well, will join us on Friday to kick off the 27th Double Decker Arts Festival. 2-day celebration of music, food, and the arts on the historic Oxford Square. The music lineup, of course, begins on Friday, including Shane Smith and the Saints. On Saturday, full day of music starting in the morning before noon. And you've got food and you've got vendors and also something that I'm really excited about because it's just one of those bands. If you get a chance to go see them, go. Wilco on Saturday night. That one speaks to me. I don't know who actually picks the music lineup for Double Decker. They have simply been speaking my language lately.
Yeah.
They had Dr. John, rest his soul, and Marcus King, Blackberry Smoke, and now Wilco. Goodness, they're killing it there. So I'm excited about that.
Sounds good. Looking forward to being in Oxford on Friday.
I am as well. Hey, Dad, did you see that ESPN is rolling out some new programming? Now, we ripped on ESPN yesterday because they deserved it.
Yeah, they absolutely did.
Credit where credit is due. At least I think. I will watch this. Will you?
I don't know what it is. Go ahead.
ESPN Jeopardy.
Okay.
ESPN Jeopardy coming to Disney Plus and Hulu, apparently, which I'm surprised they wouldn't put that also on their app. But anyway, hosted by Joe Buck, ESPN Jeopardy. Will you watch?
Not only will I watch, I'd like to participate. Is there a link to sign up for to be a contestant?
I imagine there will be some kind of...
I want in. I'll be the Ken Jennings of that show.
Some people hate on Joe Buck, and it's one of those things. It reminds me of Nickelback in a way.
Yeah.
People hated on Nickelback just because they thought it was the cool thing. Right. I swear people hate on Joe Buck just because they think that's the cool thing.
Yeah, they hate on Nickelback, and then you see there's 50,000 people at one of their shows. Like, who's winning that or not?
Joe Buck is the elite broadcaster. I think he'll do a great job here.
You don't think they should have gone with Gus Johnson here? Next question! Potpourri!
Man,
400!
Remember when Indiana beat Penn State?
Yes.
And he just, I don't know what he did on that call. Yeah. I like Gus Johnson. But
I do too, but I like my impression of Gus Johnson better.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Actually.
Michael Borkey, young fella.
But I'm in. I'm in on the Joe Buck Jeopardy. I will watch it. Last thing for you.
I watched when Stump the Schwab was a thing. I watched every episode. That was a great game show.
And maybe this is ESPN, because, we grew up in different eras, but we both grew up in an era where ESPN was the gold standard. Yeah. Every sports fan watched ESPN. And
I used to watch SportsCenter from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Oh, my gosh.
I would watch it over and over again just to make sure I knew everything.
But hopefully this is a sign of them getting back to their roots.
Yeah.
Because Sports Jeopardy is what sports fans want.
People want sports quiz shows.
Yes. We don't need to be screaming about God knows what for 8 hours a day.
Right. We don't need to have Brian Windhorst talking about the Masters and Seth Rollins.
Yes, exactly. Todd Golden, the basketball coach at Florida, for now anyway, it has been linked to the not yet open but about to be open Golden State Warriors job. Steve Kerr probably going to maybe not hang it up from coaching necessarily, but going to step away from.
We're seeing the end of that dynasty. It's finally it's at its end.
So Todd Golden has been linked to that job. He was asked about it in a media scrum today, which is fascinating, by the way, that the basketball coach had a media scrum today. Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, today was the last day of the portal. Maybe that's why. Well, not last day to enter the portal.
To enter the portal.
Yeah.
And he said that he plans on coming back. And then a reporter, good on the reporter, following up, "You're back for sure?" And he replied, "That's an interesting question, Mark. I'm definitely planning on coaching the Gators."
Whatever I said, whatever I did, I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good.
That's the perfect non-denial denial. Because, of course he plans on coaching Florida next year. Because he hasn't been offered the Warriors job yet.
It's all if.
Yeah.
It's all the way you say. I plan to do this show tomorrow. All right.
But if you win the lottery.
If I win the lottery tonight, I'm going to, you'll see me tomorrow. I'm going to come down there and I'll punch Willie's right in the nose.
Speaking of plans, you're planning on an extra hour of radio. I think your mic is like, I don't know
what's going on.
There's a tall building. I don't know. But you're planning on doing Thunder and Lightning next.
I thought I was going to get you on this.
No, you weren't.
I thought it was going to happen. I was going to Yes, we got another hour here at Northwest for me. Michael Borkey's going to get in the car and drive home. But I'll be here. Let's talk some Mississippi State sports in just a few minutes on Thunder and Lightning Live. Borkey, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
3:06 p.m. for Sports Talk Mississippi. Get you ready. It's a massive weekend of baseball here in the Magnolia State. We'll get you ready for it.
And the draft.
And the NFL draft. Don't forget that as well. For Michael Borkey, for everybody here at Northwest, although I'm going to be right back. See you in just a few. Sports Talk Mississippi. Later.
Oh, it's incredible! A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.